Today in this video we will focus on the next property of inverse trigonometry, which is sine of sine inverse. Now instead of sine inverse before, we have sine before. So sine inverse will have a value, then it will give me value. So that is why the corresponding values of this the domain of inverse functions are given over here, right? So if it is sine inverse x, I'll get x. Anyhow, if it is sine inverse before or sine before, both the things will get cancelled and we'll get the corresponding value. If sine is inside, I'll get the angle. If inverse is inside, I'll get the value. Now, how to proceed in a question where we have to do it this way? So, what we have now? We have sine cos inverse 4 by 5. So, what we do is we say let cos inverse 4 by 5 is equal to theta. So, what we do is we take cos of both the sides. So, this way it happens as cos theta is equal to 4 by 5. Now when my cos theta is 4 by 5, now what we have to remember, to cancel these two, this should also be in terms of whatever angle is outside, whatever trigonometric function is outside. So over here it is sine, so I should have sine inverse over here. So from cos, how can I get sine? So I know the identity for sine is under root 1 minus cos square theta. So we will write it that way. So it will be under root 1 minus 16 by 25. So I'll get what 25 minus 16, that is under root of 9 by 25, which is 3 by 5. So I know my sine theta is 3 by 5. So I can write my theta as sine inverse 3 by 5. Although it is appearing that sine is going to the other side, but what actually is happening is, if it is sine theta is equal to 3 by 5, we take sine inverse of both the sides. So it is theta here and it is sine inverse 3 by 5. Right? So sine inverse 3 by 5 over there. So theta is sine inverse 3 by 5. So I'll write my question as sine of sine inverse 3 by 5. Sine and sine inverse will get cancelled. Answer will be 3 by 5, which very much belongs to minus 1 and 1. Over here, in all such questions, we will not have a problem of a given value belonging to a particular domain. Only the problem will be to change this particular whatever angle is inside over here, whatever expression, to change to the inverse of the corresponding trigonometric function. The same thing, if it is sine inverse, I need to change it to cos inverse. I'll again follow the same procedure. Yes, you are right. We will say let sine inverse 3 by 5 is theta. So 3 by 5 will be sine theta. Again, if I do it in the same way, so my cos theta, applying this formula, will be 25 minus 9, which is 16 by 25. So it is 4 by 5. So I can write it over here as what? I can write it as cos of cos inverse 4 by 5. So then my answer will be 4 by 5. Right? Similarly over here, if it is tan and cos inverse, yes, again we'll write it as theta. And now I'll change it to the other form in terms of cos. If I have, I can write it in terms of tan as what I'll do. I'll do it as, let me do it here. So I'll write cos inverse 8 by 17 is theta. So 8 by 17 is cos theta. So my sec theta is 17 by 8. So what is tan theta? I know 1 plus tan square theta is sec square theta. So tan will be sec square minus 1. That is under root of secant square theta minus 1. So under root of this 17 upon this will be 289 upon 64 minus 1. So 289 minus 64 upon 64. If I solve it up, what will I get? I will get it as 225 upon 64, which is 15 upon 8. So my tan theta is 15 upon 8. I can write theta as tan inverse 15 upon 8. This is the correct way of doing an exam as well, because if we can do it this way also, in many of the books you'll find it written like this. It is mostly written as this. If cos is this, so cos means this. So by Pythagoras theorem we find it like this and we can find the other angle. But we will not be using this procedure. This is not a valid procedure. By this way you can cross check your answer definitely. But for exams you have to write it this way, where you have to apply the identities and then only you have to solve it, right? So theta is tan inverse 15 by 3. So if I write tan of tan inverse 15 by 8, sorry, not 3, 8. So 15 by 8 will be my answer, right? Which belongs to the particular real numbers, right? Similarly, if we have it over here, cosec of cos inverse minus 12 by 13. So what I will write, I know if we have minus sign with cosec, this cos, this can be written as pi minus cos inverse of 12 by 13, right? So then what I will do is pi minus cos inverse of 12 by 13. How can I write it further? Cosec 180 minus theta. I am in the second quadrant, cosec is positive, so we will write it as cosec cos inverse 12 by 13, right? Cosec cos inverse 12 by 13. Now again I will follow the same procedure that I did for this, and we will change it to cosec. So we will have it same way you can follow. So cosec inverse of 13 by 5. So my answer will be 13 by 5, right? So now next we have the next set of properties, very very important, just see very carefully. These are the three set of properties, as we have identities in 10th class, sin square theta plus cos square theta. Similarly, sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Tan inverse x, cot inverse x is equal to pi by 2, and sec inverse x, cosec inverse x is equal to pi by 2. These ranges as such or domains we don't have to see as such. Whatever question is defined, given in the exam, is keeping all these domains in mind, it is defined, right? So we only have to look into the formula, that is sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. Wherever it is written, we will have to write pi by 2. Similarly, for tan inverse, these are the two formulas, very very important formula for tan inverse. This condition is very very important. So when we have xy less than 1, we have tan inverse x plus y, 1 minus xy. You can see it clearly. It has been derived from the formula tan a plus b. Similarly, if it is xy greater than 1, then we have pi plus tan inverse x plus y, 1 minus xy. These are the only formulas that we have to remember. There are many formulas of inverse, but for CBSE class 12, you only have to remember these particular formulas, right? Next, for tan inverse x minus tan inverse y, the same formula, x minus y, 1 plus xy, with this condition, xy greater than minus 1. Then we have cos inverse 1 upon x is sin inverse x, sec inverse 1 upon x, as we have for normal trigonometric function. 1 upon cosec x is sin inverse x. Over here it is 1 upon x, sec inverse and cot inverse. We have these particular conditions which you have to remember, right? Similarly, for 2 tan inverse, we have three formulas: sin inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square, cos inverse 1 minus x square, as we had formula of 2 tan theta, sin, if you remember, we have formula of sin 2 theta in terms of tan, cos in terms of tan, and tan in terms of tan. So the same formulas are here with the term of inverse, right? So these are the formulas which everybody has to remember. Next, we have a question like, what type of questions are generally asked in exam? So we have a question like this particular question based on these formulas. It is sin 2 sin inverse 3 by 5. So whenever we have anything like this, the basic thing that we have to remember is we cannot cancel these two signs unless this constant is removed from here, right? First point. Second point, to get rid of this, what will I do? I have to change 2 sin inverse to something. So can I change? Now what I have, I don't have any formula of 2 sin inverse. So rather what I have formula of 2 tan inverse. So what I will do is, I will change this sin inverse to tan, and then we will apply the formula of 2 tan inverse from there, and then we will change that particular tan inverse to sin inverse and cancel our sin from here, right? So what I will do, I will write sin inverse 3 by 5 as theta. So 3 by 5 is sin theta. Cos theta I know is under root of 1 minus sin square theta, right? Cos theta is under root of 1 minus sin square theta. So this will be 1 minus 9 by 25, which is 16 by 25. Hence, cos theta will come out to be 4 by 5. So I can write from here tan theta as 3 by 4, right? So now I will change this sign to 2 tan inverse 3 by 4. Now once I have 2 tan inverse, I will apply the formula. You can see over there what is the formula of 2 tan inverse in terms of sine. So I will apply that particular formula. So sine of, because sine was outside, so that is I will apply for sine. So it is sine inverse 2 tan x is 3 by 4 1 plus 9 by 16. If I solve it up, what will I get? Let's quickly solve it up. So what we will get? We will get this as sine of sine inverse 3 by 2, and if I solve 16 plus 9, 25 by 16. Solving this up, it will be sine inverse 24 by 25. So my answer will be 24 by 25, right? This is a 2-marker question, very important from CBSE examination point of view. So everybody has to work on these particular lines to score full marks, right? Next question, what we have, cos of sine inverse 3 by 5 plus sine inverse 5 by 13. So again, what I will do, I will quickly change these two to tan, because I don't have formula of sine inverse x plus sine inverse y over here, right? So what we will do, we will change these to tan and then we will apply the formula. So for changing them to tan, again I will write this as x. So 3 by 5 is sine x. So we know tan x will come out to be 3 by 4. And similarly, if sine inverse 5 by 13 is y, so 5 by 13 is equal to sine y. So tan y by Pythagorean triplet will come out to be 5 by 12. So for a 2-marker question, I can write it directly like this, right? Whatever triangle you have to make, that will be your rough work. So then this will be tan inverse 3 by 4 plus tan inverse 5 by 12. Now I can apply the formula of tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. To apply the formula, what is the condition that I have to check? That xy, that is this angle is x, this angle is y. So xy should be less than 1. So if I multiply 3 by 4 with 5 by 12, see, it is coming out to be 5 by 16, which is less than 1. So I can comfortably apply this particular formula, apply the formula. Then what you will get if I apply this particular formula? You will get that particular answer in terms of tan. So let's apply it here. So I'll get cos tan inverse 3 by 4 plus 5 by 12 upon 1 minus 3 by 4 into 5 by 12. So this will be cos inverse tan inverse of 56 by 33 if I solve it up. So this will come out to be, this is not tan inverse, this is tan cos inverse. Then I'll change it to cos inverse, that will be 33 by 65, and cos inverse will get cancelled, so 33 by 65 will be the answer, right? So all those questions which are based on this particular thing, we will be doing it on these particular lines. Next question, this is question number 3 of exercise 2.2 NCERT. Now based on the same formulas and the concept that I told you right now, we will do this particular question. So what do we observe? All the terms of tan are there. So I'll apply the formula of tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. We have to prove that this left hand side is equal to the right hand side, right? So what I'll do, I'll first of all check whether xy is less than 1 or not. This is x and this is y. So x is 2 by 11 and y is 7 by 24. So this is 14 upon, if I multiply it, this will be 24 into 11, so 4242, so 264. So which is less than 1, hence I can apply the formula. So tan inverse 2 by 11 plus 7 by 24 upon 1 minus 2 by 11 into 7 by 24. So if we quickly solve this up, it will come out to be tan inverse, this will be 48 plus 77 upon 264 if I multiply both, and this will be 14, right? So tan inverse, this will be 125 upon 250, right? So if I solve this up, this will be tan inverse 1 by 2. Clear? Similarly, we have question number 4. Now question number 4 has 2 tan inverse 1 by 2 plus tan inverse 1 by 7. This is given to be equal to, we have to prove that 31 by 17. Now we have two options. Since 2 tan inverse is here, I will apply the formula of 2 tan inverse, change it to tan inverse. We will have 2 tan inverse, then we will apply the formula, right? Or I can write 2 tan inverse 1 by 2 as tan inverse 1 by 2 plus tan inverse 1 by 2. So if I apply 2 tan inverse formula, it will be tan inverse 2 into 1 by 2 upon 1 minus x square. So this is whole square plus tan inverse 1 by 7. So this will get cancelled. So we have tan inverse, this will be 4 minus 1, 3, right? So then further plus tan inverse 1 by 7, right? So now if I apply the formula again, I need to check what xy is less than 1. You have to check before applying the formula, however number of times you are applying the formula, right? So this is tan inverse 4 by 3 plus 1 by 7 upon 1 minus 4 by 3 into 1 by 7. So if you quickly solve this up, this will be 28 plus 3 upon 21 and 21 minus 4 upon 21. So this will give me tan inverse 31 upon 21 minus 4, which is 17, hence the answer right hand side, right? Next what we will do, we will move on to the next question, which is your question number 11 of the same exercise. The proof other questions we will do together. So what we are doing, we are making group of questions which are generally asked. So we will have what, a group of certain questions which we will be revising and will be able to solve questions, right? So what is the next question in the league? Next question is my question number, let's say this is 11. It is tan inverse bracket 2 cos 2 sine inverse 1 by 2. Now what I have to do, I have to find this particular value. So whenever we have this type of question, now what we will do, we will always move from the inner bracket to the outward bracket, right? So it will be tan inverse 2 cos, now 2 sine inverse 1 by 2. I know the value of sine 1 by 2 is at 30 degree. Yes, you are right. So we will write it as pi by 6. I'll cancel. So this will be tan inverse 2 cos pi by 3. Now what is cos 60 degree? It is 1 by 2. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So tan inverse 1 is pi by 4. So my answer is pi by 4. Right? Similarly, next what we have, we will do question number 12 as well. So what is question number 12 over here? So question number 12, again a very good question, 1 marker. So cot tan inverse A plus cot inverse A. You have to find the value. So what do we observe? This is tan inverse A and cot inverse A. Both the angles are same. We just now did the property tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is pi by 2. So I will write it as cot pi by 2 and cot pi by 2. What is the answer for cot pi by 2? It is 0. Hence the answer is 0. Right? Similarly, next question number 13. What do we have? For question number 13. Now what do we have? It is tan 1 by 2 sine inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square. So sine inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square can be written as 2 tan inverse x. Cos inverse 1 minus y square 1 plus y square can be written as 2 tan inverse y. So if I take 2 common, I'll get cancelled it with this 2. So this way it is written tan inverse x plus tan inverse y, right? I can cancel this tan inverse x and tan inverse y. We can apply the formula. Whenever it is like this, we will apply the standard formula, which is this 1 minus x square upon 1 minus xy. So this and this will get cancelled. My answer will be x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Again a 1 marker question, right? Next 1 marker question is question number 14, which is again very good question. Sine inverse 1 by 5 plus cos inverse x is equal to 1. Now what we have to do, we have to find the value of x, right? So what I will do is, I will take this, I will take sine inverse of both the sides. Since sine is here, so it will get cancelled from here. So I can write it as sine inverse 1 by 5 plus cos inverse x is equal to sine inverse 1. So then what I can do is sine inverse 1 by 5 plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Now when the sum of two angles of sine inverse plus cos inverse x is pi by 2, what will x be equal to? It will be 1 by 5, right? From the identity sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Then next we will move on to question number 18 of the same exercise, which is again based on the similar formula. So what is question number 18? It is tan of sine inverse 3 by 5 plus cot inverse 3 by 2, right? So tan of sine inverse 3 by 5 plus cot inverse 3 by 2. Now I have sine tan over here and sine and cot over here. So what we will do, we will try to change this to tan and this to tan. So right, so this sine inverse 3 by 5 I'll write as x. So 3 by 5 will be sine x, and by Pythagorean triplet what do I know? Tan x will come out to be 3 by 4. Cot inverse 3 by 2 is equal to, I can write as tan inverse 2 by 3, right? We have done the result which says cot inverse 1 by x is equal to tan inverse x, right? So then what I will do, both are in terms of tan, so we will apply the formula. So I will write it as tan of tan inverse 3 by 4 plus tan inverse 2 by 3. Now let's quickly check out first of all whether xy is less than 1 or not. So if I multiply 3 by 4 into 2 by 3, I get 1 by 2 which is less than 1. So if I apply the formula again, what will I get? Tan inverse 3 by 4 plus 2 by 3, 1 minus 3 by 4 into 2 by 3. So this will be, if I solve it up, it will be tan of tan inverse 17 by 6. So my answer will be 17 by 6, right? So this is question number 18 of the exercise 2.2. Now next what we will do is, we will move on to question number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of miscellaneous exercise, right?